Yes, guys, welcome along to another episode of the Ghostoul Podcast. Again, this week is just me, and we're going to talk about paranormal tragedy. Tragedy. I can't say that word. Tragedy. Yeah, that word. Don't take the piss. Tragedy. Tragedy. When the feeling's gone. Yeah, we're not doing steps or the Bee Gees. Fuck you know. This is where this show's going, people. Yes, so we are going to discuss the ethics involved in investigating certain locations that have real and raw death associated with it. So Admit is here. Hello, hope you're well. Tracy, good morning. Hope you are well. Always good. So yes, guys, this is what we're going to talk about. We've got a few locations and a few ideas of people as well, because obviously things have happened to people. Is it right to investigate their death, the site of their death? That is what we're going to discuss this evening, and yeah, hopefully you guys will be getting involved and coming to say hello. Oh dear, so we've only got a few people on tonight. What's going on? I think people are getting bored of me now. I need to start having some guests back on, because I think people are sick of my voice. They're sick of seeing me on the internet, 4 videos a week coming out every week, and they're like, oh, it's Mickey again. How do we get rid of him? So yeah, it's all good. It is what it is. But yes, so locations. Is it right to investigate them? Is it ethical to investigate them? Because obviously there is real and raw emotions involved in some of these locations. Ground Zero, for instance, in New York, the site of the Twin Towers. Is it right to rock up there with your spirit box, with your EVP recorder, and start asking out? Is that okay? Is it not okay because it's quite recent? Would it be okay if it was, say, 100 years ago, 50 years ago? Because I'm guessing that's when it would be okay to do, because it's a lot of people that were involved in it might not have been alive anymore. So the thing that's what it all comes down to, I think. It's the fact that, are you involved in it? Do you know people that were involved in it? And that's the problem. That's what makes it okay or not okay. Because we've all been to locations to investigate, yeah? And there's normally some sort of death involved in that location, a haunting, something that's happened. And we are there to communicate with a said spirit that is reportedly supposed to still be there, or comes back to that location. Now, is that okay to do? You know, is it okay because it's a long time ago? Does this make it okay? Who knows? That's what the question today is. Is it okay to do it? Niall's back. Niall sat in his kitchen in his pants. Little fucker. Yeah. Should we investigate Niall? We should get Niall out on an investigation. I'm sure he would love that. We'll take him to an abandoned building, leave him in there, in the dark. Then we'll see how cocky this man is. So that's the real test of a man, if you can leave them inside a building on their own in the dark with not even a torch. Yeah, you see him squirm then. But yeah, ground zero, I would not investigate there at all. But maybe in, how old am I now? 46. If I'm still doing this in 30 years, probably would. I'd probably go to New York if it was available to just walk. I mean, I've not been there, so I don't know what it's like. But walking around there at night time, is it easily accessible? I'd investigate it. Why not? But at the moment, it's still too raw. You know, it's only 24 years ago. And even though that sounds like a long time, it's still too soon, I would say. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Does age play a factor in it? Does that come into effect? But I don't know. It is something that I would at some point do, but maybe not yet. That's a controversial question, Mickey. I think if investigations are done with the most respect, then yes. But with that question, I don't think that area. Maybe in many years. Exactly, Tracy. That's what I'm saying. Later on in life, when everybody's got used to the fact that this event sadly happened, and it's no longer. Obviously, it's sad. People will still have relatives that are alive that are associated with the deaths, but it is something that I would not do yet. Definitely not do yet. But maybe in my lifetime, I would investigate it. Now, whether you'd be allowed to, that's another story. Is there people there? I imagine actually you could even go on YouTube and have a look. Hello, Emma. Hope you're well. Thanks for joining this evening. There may even be videos on YouTube of people trying to investigate the World Trade Center site, the Ground Zero site. Now, I don't know. It's not something I even thought about, but it's just an idea because obviously it's something that's happened and it's still very raw in a lot of people's thoughts and emotions every year on the 11th. So, you know. Hi Andy, I hope you're good, mate. Hope you are well. I'm good, thanks. Hi Sarah, hope you're good. The energy there would feel is raw. Yeah, it's a tricky one at the World Trade Center. The emotion of all the people, the pain, the suffering they went through, because they didn't all die quickly, did they? So that is something that could potentially leave a lot of energy, like Emma says, onto the site, the area. But I don't know. Would the spirit want to come back there? Are spirits trapped in the building on the site? You know, did they come back after a period of reflection, as they say, and see what was happening after the rubble was cleared, after everything was moved off, and then they started building the memorial, the monument. It's like a fountain, isn't it? Like a water feature. But I've not been there. But I definitely wouldn't go there to investigate yet. I think I would be kicked out very quickly and shouted at by just the locals, I would say. All good, cheers, mate. Nice one. So you could go on about Ground Zero, but then you could also go Auschwitz. Would you investigate there? That is potentially the most active for energy in the whole of the world. The pain and suffering, the energy that went into the structure of the buildings, the walls, the floors, the ground, that would be off the chart, wouldn't it? Now, there's no way in hell I would investigate Auschwitz. People do. They do actually. Yeah, I've seen people sneak in like their voice recorder. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. Now whether it's because it was a long time ago and 9/11 has not reached that level yet. If you could hire Auschwitz out to investigate and you didn't disrespect the memories of the people that sadly lost their lives, I would like to try and experience something there. Now, obviously, people might think that's awful and that's horrible, but it would be obviously with the most respect that you could possibly give them, I suppose, and dignity. No, that was obviously a long time ago. So, for me, it's not as bad as 9/11, but obviously it's still bad. It's still horrific. The worst things ever happened in the history of the world happened there. Leaving nothing but footprints and taking nothing but photos. Yeah. Sometimes you even get funny looks if you're taking pictures, which is, I understand both sides. Excuse me. I understand that it's a scene of an horrific act and all the people that were there for all them years. But if that's the case, if they you can book tours there, so they're obviously using it as a tourist attraction. If you don't want people to take photos, etc., don't open it up, because I'm sure, you know, you open yourselves up to this sort of thing, I think. But I don't know. What do you guys reckon? Would you go there? Have you been to Auschwitz? Have you been to the concentration camps? What did you feel? What was it like? I've heard that it's like a feeling that is you've never felt before. But investigations like yours and others make you show people that there are lines that you don't cross. School respect, whether they're alive or not. Yeah. I wouldn't openly go there and investigate. I would never investigate as a tourist. Just go in there day to day, booking a tour to have a look round it. Absolutely not. No way in hell would I do that. But if they offered like private tours that you could do filming, I suppose, then I don't know. Would I do it? Emma says, I think I would, but kind of on the fence. If they allowed you to do it, then I think I would. Just experience it. Don't know. It's a tricky one. I think if I was going to investigate there, you would have to respect and give the history of it. Yeah, exactly. You'd have to get the correct information, and you couldn't just be a dickhead YouTube paranormal investigation where all you're shouting and you're screaming and no, absolutely no way at all for that. Not being, but I enjoyed the film. I was obsessed with the history. I've been to a few places. I've been to the National War Arboretum in Leicestershire, and that has, I think it was the Japanese concentration camps of the British soldiers, etc., and European soldiers that were captured and went there. And they have got all information there. It's an amazing place. Every war, every battle that's ever happened in history there's some sort of memorial at this location. Absolutely brilliant place, very humbling, and it's massive. I was there 4 hours. I still didn't see everything on site. It's absolutely amazing. But yeah, some of the things that happened in these camps was not good. Absolutely vile. Very inhumane conditions. Watched it in French as it wasn't in English. Did you watch the? You're not talking about Schindler's List film, are you? Is there a different Auschwitz film that you are talking about? Or is Schindler's List not in English either? I've not seen it, to be fair. I've heard it's very good, and lots of people I know that have watched it have said it's brilliant. But I don't know if I really want to see all that, all the suffering that people went through. Or isn't the film about the bloke who tried to get them to escape? Okay, it's not Schindler's List, no. Okay, fair enough. What film did you watch then? Because obviously there's probably other films like you've seen. It would definitely be. I don't know if I'd want to see that. Some things are interesting history-wise to learn about and to read about and watch, but sometimes you don't want to see it. Also, I've seen it, but however, I don't watch war films. No. To be fair, they're not that good. You know, no one really wins at war, do they? Although Saving Private Ryan was a good film. Platoon was a good film. I've not seen the older films, the older war films, like Battle of Britain and Dam Busters and all that. I've not seen those, but you see, we go to those locations and investigate. I've been to many RAF bases where people have died. I've investigated there. That's okay. You know, it's just weird how one is allowed and another one is not. But I don't know. I think it's if who's complaining at the time. I think that's what it really comes down to. If it's in the news for a particular reason, if it's an anniversary or a specific date that's come up. Oh no, you can't go there now. But it's okay to do it in winter when there's no one there. I don't know. It's a difficult one, but again, you've got people like Paul Walker, who was in the Fast and Furious films. When he crashed his Porsche, or his brother, whoever was driving, his friend, I don't know, and that burst into flames. I've seen YouTubers go into the crash site with their spirit boxes, their DR60s, trying to communicate with Paul Walker. Now, that was only a few years ago. Is that okay to do? Is that too soon? You know, because that's very raw. I suppose it would only offend people if their family would see it. Like Paul Walker's daughter. She's alive, obviously. She's 20s, I suppose, I think. If she went onto YouTube and she saw mainly American YouTubers, quite big ones, that do paranormal content, they would be investigating, Paul Walker, are you here? And then his daughter sees that. That's not going to be nice, is it? Just Auschwitz, it came out in music. Okay, cool. No, I'm not seeing that. I do find that sick when people commit to see celebs days after they died. Yeah, it's not good. Huff Paranormal do it. He always gets a video out. I remember Michael Jackson, Matthew Perry. Quite often a new celeb comes, or a new celeb death, and then the next day or the day after, Huff Paranormal's got a new video out trying to communicate with one of his devices, his wonder boxes and all them portal things that he makes, and he uses speech from interviews with that person that has died and puts them through his soundboard and tries to get words coming through in communication using their actual voice and their actual words. Now, I don't know how that all works, but it's definitely probably not the best. It's not something that I would do, because why? And the Queen, I'm sure he did the Queen as well. why is it, yeah? People die and then, oh right, I'm going to Huff Paranormal's house to talk to him because he's got a wonder box and a fucking guitar pedal to cut sound out. You know, it's absolute joke. It's not. It's not good. It's not. Why would he think they've gone there? Absolutely piss take, that is. Hey Mickey, sorry late saying I was trying to get the Scotland Asylum episode edit completed. Is it ready, Ali? Is it out Friday, 8 p.m. Horntex TV YouTube channel? Go subscribe, people. There you go, Ali. There's your plug. the accountant of Auschwitz. That was it. Oh, okay. I would say I'd want to watch that, but I don't really want to watch Auschwitz films. And that's nothing against that film or you watching them or anything like that. It's just something I would rather not watch, if I'm honest. Can I just ask if it is it in colour or is it in black and white? History is good to learn. Yes, very sad to hear what happened at that time. I think like Auschwitz and other places are better with memories of your visit in your head, not in physical form. I don't know. That's like, this is a question that always divides opinion. Colour, okay. If your mum or dad died, yeah? I don't know, some people may have done this, I don't know. And you have, say, an open casket, or you go to see them in the chapel of rest before the funeral, would you take a photo of them? If they were looking okay, because obviously they clean them and they put makeup on and they wear the clothing, etc., make them look really nice. Would you take a photo of them as a last memory? And would you judge somebody who did? Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Nearly completed. Got voiceover to record and then go to get intro completed. Oh, we've got voiceover. Nice. Some people who sadly lose their family members, their friends in hospital, if they've been there a few days, the last time they see them, they're hooked up to machines, lots of beeps, they look awful, they're ill, they're poorly, they've had a crash, an accident. And yeah, you don't want to have that lasting memory maybe, but maybe at the chapel of rest when they've been cleaned up, makeup covered, maybe any cuts, any bruises, there's no pipes coming out of them anymore, and they look quite good, they just look like they're sleeping. I know people that would take photos. Sadly, my brother passed away to leukemia. I have a memory box with his stuff in. Yeah, I think I would. I think if it was my kids or my mum and dad, I think I would take a photo of them. 100% would not put it on social media though. Oh, there's my dad. Look, selfie with the coffin. I know people have done that. I've seen them online when people do that, and that's disgusting. But I think I would take a photo of them, but I would not 100% put it on social media at all. Just as a memory for myself. It has freedom at the end of the movie. Yeah. I have taken a photo of my dad and brother-in-law in the coffin. It's a personal thing. They look so at peace. Yeah, that's what I thought, Tracy. Which I had never seen them before, and it was healing. No, it's personal to you. Exactly. And this is the thing. Everything is about how you see it. If it's personal to you, it's okay. It then becomes a problem if it becomes public and other people get involved and other people have opinions. So I think I would take photo unless they look really bad, and it's like, no, I wouldn't be able to. I had this discussion the other week on my other podcast with my mate Niall, and we were talking about obviously death, like you do, um, and whether it was okay to. Now, don't judge me. If it was okay to have a family member stuffed like a taxidermy, like you do with animals, pets, would this reduce the grieving process? If this is crazy, just bear with me. If you could say have your nan taxidermied, yeah, and this was legal and everything was okay, you had her in the corner of your bed, of your living room, yeah, and she's just sat there holding a book, maybe, and as she did when she was alive. Would that make it easier for her being there as the body, but obviously not in the mind and the soul, etc.? Do you think the grieving process would be easier? Because I think we miss the body. We miss the physical body of our friends, our loved ones, our family. I think that's what we miss. Because, I don't know, if you could have someone in a coma, and then, or you have them die, they've gone, see you later, there's no body, etc., they're buried, or had the funeral. But if they're in a coma, you go see them every day. They're not there in spirit because obviously they're under sedation, etc., or whatever's happened to them. I just think that makes it a bit easier. I don't know. And do you think their spirit would their spirit come back to their body if they knew it was there? There you go. I had this chat with Richard Felix every week on this show. Do you think the spirit of a dead person is at their own funeral? Would they come back to visit? I have weird thoughts, don't worry. Tracy, I went to see my dad before they took him. I needed closure and to give him a last kiss. He looked awful, but I didn't mind closure. Exactly, and that's what it could be down to, closure. This is it, the last time you're going to see him or her before they're cremated, buried, however they go on to the next life. It is something that's difficult. I definitely would take a photo there. And you see, I don't know if I could do the taxidermy thing with a human. I know it's not legal, but it's just an idea that we were chatting about. Would it make it easier to grieve? I would like to think they have a choice to stay where they feel happy, at home, etc. Yeah, in spirit. But would you? I don't know. Would having them stuffed, is that weird? Is that a weird thing? You could come down in the morning, Nan, while you're having a cup of tea or something. I don't know. Is that weird? It's just an idea. I'm spitballing here. Because obviously ghost hunting is all about death and passing over and spirits and things like that. Do you pass on to the next life? Would they would they stay in the house if their body was still in the house? Yeah, don't know. Imagine if you could communicate with them easier. Would that make it easier? That's what I want to know. Yes, I do know this is a weird podcast tonight, people. It is very strange. But it is what it is, and we're here to discuss and to broaden our horizon about certain things within the paranormal field. But there is a location that I was actually supposed to have gone to back in June this year, and that is Omaha Beach in France, where obviously all the horrific things happened in World War II. Yeah, the Normandy landing, etc. I was due to go there and camp on the beach because I got the World War tunnels there, the trenches sort of thing, the lookout points. And is that okay to investigate? I was going to investigate there. That was the plan. Tracy said it is closure. Admit. I think it's also a reality to understand they have gone to help healing. Mickey, I'm not sure if I would taxidermy. I think one side it would be nice to film them there. Yeah, I don't know if it's a good idea or not. I don't know. I just wondered if it would help. Would it help spirit communication with your loved ones? Would it help your grieving process with them technically being in that room with you? I don't know. It's never going to happen because it's not legal. So you have to be buried or interred some way. So, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, back to France. Sorry, I've got a really itchy face today. I was digging a grave this morning. It was raining. It was not good. It wasn't a good time. And obviously, 11 o'clock we had the remembrance 2 minute silence as well. So Tracy is in a special box in Mum's front room. His ashes. We like that. Yeah, you see, you can have ashes anywhere. You can have them in jewellery, can't you? Rings, chains, etc. You can have them in little caskets in living rooms, in bedrooms, on the sideboard, whichever. You know, you don't have to spread them, the ashes. You don't have to inter them into the ground. It is whatever helps your process. Everything is individual. So, but yeah, the beach, the French beach. Would that be okay to investigate? Do you think that would be haunted? Do you think it would be ethically correct to spend time on the beach where hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of soldiers were killed within like a minute of stepping off into the water on the beach? Do you think that would be okay to do? Has enough time passed for us to do that? So that is what, would it be okay? Would I have faced backlash for that, to investigate that? It would have been on a particular day in June. I can't remember what day it was. Is it VE Day maybe? Is that in June? We were due to go to a parade as well in the local town as respect for obviously the war and the fallen soldiers. But I've been to Crayman Island in Edinburgh. That is a World War II defence island. First defence obviously for Edinburgh area and that part of the Scottish sea line, as it were. Now, I'm sure maybe people died there, I don't know. But if they did, would that be okay to investigate? There is lots of World War II bunkers there, buildings, etc., that were used to fight off incoming boat attacks from obviously German ships, etc. I admit I have my dad, stepdad, uncle and dog's ashes in my living room. Ah, nice. Are they in a box, Tracy, or are they in some sort of display case? And are you ever going to have them interred into the ground if you do that in Australia? Would you spread their ashes, or would you like to keep some of each? Just an idea. But yeah, I think every location can be investigated if enough time has passed. That's it. That's just how it is. That's my conclusion from this sort of topic, because yeah, at some point it was raw, it was real, it was offensive. People were disgusted with what happened, and you can't talk about, you can't take photos, you can't put this up online, you can't do this, you can't do that. But if enough time has passed, you know, World War Two is a bit fresh for me. So the Normandy landing would not be good. Is that what you're saying? If I went there to investigate the beaches, etc., and the World War Two bunkers and tunnels that are there, are you saying that would be too soon for me to do that, and you would think, Mickey, you shouldn't do that? Is that what you're saying? Tracy, it's nice having them at home. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Ah, here we go. Tracy, they're in boxes with photos, and when I pass, they will come with me if my children don't wish for them. Okay. My mum passed over at home in her own bed. She had her own choices where she was going to die because of the big sea. Oh, sorry to hear that. Bless her, she was seeing spirits before she passed on, saying they come to get her. Oh, wow. See, that's very comforting for me to know that you hear the stories of spirits coming to see you, etc., when you're passing. People visit Normandy, I think people would think you were disrespectful. Maybe. I don't know if people have investigated there. I'm sure they have. Maybe it's an issue with putting a video up or pictures, etc. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe it's a good thing I didn't go, to be fair. I don't want the backlash. World War Two, 70 years ago or so, wasn't it? Is that still not far enough away? I don't know. I'd do it secretly if you did, yeah. Yeah, I suppose it would depend on the situation at the time. Yeah, I don't know. Mickey, I agree. If enough time has passed, it's okay to investigate. It's a natural thing for people to try and communicate with the lost souls. We're always part of life, which is sad. It is, Tracy, it is. No, I would not like to. We've not really had wars in this country. We've had terrorist attacks. Would I investigate the scene of a terrorist attack? Like the Manchester bombing at Ariana Grande concert? Absolutely no way in hell I would ever investigate that. I bet there's people that want to do that. I bet there's people that want to try and do that. For clicks, for views. For me, that's disgusting. There was kids there for a start. I think it's because a lot of relatives are still living. They may feel it's disrespectful. Yeah, probably. You're probably right, to be fair. Yeah, maybe when it's 100 years, most relatives are no longer alive from them. Possibly. Hi Paul, hope you're good, mate. Thanks for joining this evening. We're just chatting at the moment about locations that are a bit raw to investigate after like scenes of horrific instances like crime, war, terrorist attacks, what locations is it okay to investigate, but some are not because it's still too soon, too raw. So we're currently talking about the Normandy beaches, the Omaha Beach, to investigate there. The consensus is really that it's a good job I didn't go in June to investigate that, because people were on here thinking it's probably not the best idea. Yeah, and I think they're right, to be fair. Although we were doing a lot of good for the rest of the day, visiting the war graves, etc., going to the parade, trying to help out, and then at night time investigate. I don't know, trying to communicate. Yeah, there might be someone, like Emma says, somebody that might have seen a video of and they lost their granddad or something on that beach, and there's me trying to communicate. Yeah, probably not the best. Thank you, Mickey. All good, mate. No worries. I just think it's time. Time is the great healer in everything. People have gone onto the moors claiming to know where Keith Bennett is. Is that the Moors murders? I take it. There are some things that need to be left alone and not investigated. There are, but unfortunately, Tracy, people will make their own mind up, and they will decide themselves if they think that's okay. You know, what you may think should be left alone, someone else might think it's okay. And we're all entitled to our opinion, I suppose. I don't know. It's just, if it goes out to a public forum, then obviously it's not a good thing. You will be judged, you'll be criticised, you will be attacked, you will be hunted down, depending on what you've done. Yes, the Moors murders. See, I know people that have gone to where Fred and Rose West, where their house is. Obviously, their house has been knocked down now. It's like a walkway. I know people have gone there to try and investigate, and I think that's disgusting. Is it Cromwell? 25 Cromwell Street, isn't it? I think people have gone there with their ghost hunting gadgets to try and investigate. Memorial Garden now. Okay. I know they knocked the house down anyway. It's a bit like Lockerbie bombing, where the plane crashed. I went there in June to the Memorial Garden. This has just twigged my memory. People could go there, I suppose. Now, the whole of the housing estate is where the plane crashed and the bits of aeroplane were found. Would that be okay to investigate? Because I'm sure people have gone there as well. They see an idea. YouTube is so good for some things and so bad for others. You know, it's that fine line between crossing over. That it's like, oh, I shouldn't be doing that, but people might watch my video, or they might like my pictures, or they might invite me onto a podcast to talk about what I've just done. And that's what it is. People are there for fame, for views, for clicks. You know, I live in Gloucester, and investigations in Cromwell Street really upset the residents. I'm sure they do, Paul, and I know they are happening, and I know people that have been there. I've never worked with the people, but I do know of people that have been there. There have been people that have investigated the bodies in the barrel here in Adelaide, and the house is no longer there. It's disgusting for clicks. What's the barrel? I don't know what the barrel is, Tracy. If you could give us some info on that, that'd be great. Bodies in the barrel. Yeah, it's disgusting what people do for clicks. Um, there's a thing at the moment on in YouTube world, as it were, between Beardo and Ghost Club Paranormal, who are two girls in America, and they have recently gone to the Jim Jones Church, where there was a mass suicide of 900 people. 300 of them are children. And this Jim Jones, he was like some preacher bloke who is a cult basically, and he brainwashed all these people to go and commit these crimes, trying to kill politicians, etc., certain people. And it was drink the Kool-Aid afterwards, as it were. And 900 people committed suicide by drinking the Kool-Aid, as it were. 300 were children. Now that is massive. I think it's in the 1970s, to be fair. 60s or 70s. 68, I think. 78. Yeah, 1978, from what I remember. Anyway, the reason I'm talking about that, Ghost Club Paranormal, two girls, Jade and someone else, they've gone to this church, and what they've done, this Jim Jones, this preacher bloke who made everyone kill themselves, he used to be a preacher in this little church, in this little town in America. And in their video, they played out the death scene out in the church so that it would try and cause a reaction in the spirit world, as it were. Now, this is why I sort of wanted to talk about this today, because it's things like that that are disgusting. Using real pain, real suffering from people to get clicks. It's absolutely disgusting. I saw something about that last week. Yeah, it's going backwards and forwards across the pond from England to America on YouTube. Yeah, it's not very good. And it's like, where do you draw the line on visiting a haunted location for a scene of crime? They push things a bit far. Yeah, exactly. Is it okay to play that scene out in church? It's a church, you know. It's supposed to be holy, sacred, and you're playing out the scene where everybody kills themselves. Nah. King's Cross Station always scares me when I travel on the tube because of what happened. Proper creepy. It is, Ange. King's Cross, that's where Harry Potter was, wasn't it? That's platform 9 3/4, isn't it? King's Cross? I'm sure you don't mean Harry Potter, though. Yeah, the things that used to happen down in the. You see, that's the thing. People die every day. Yeah, people unfortunately lose their lives in cars on the road. Is it okay to investigate that road where someone died? At some point, everybody has died in certain streets, you know, certain buildings. When it used to be a pub, it's now a shop. Train station, now it's a restaurant. History is there. People have died. Energy is transferred into the fabric of the building. Is it okay to investigate those places, or is it only ones that create a media frenzy? Are those the ones we're not allowed to investigate? That's what I want to know. Because if it's okay for one, it should be okay for another. Between 92 and 99, 4 people killed and tortured 12 victims, and they put them in barrels in an abandoned bank vault in the outback. Received 10 life sentence and 11 life sentence. Wow. That's not very nice. Put them in barrels. I take it were they in some sort of acid in the end to get rid of the body? Because that is not good, Tracy. Not good at all. But yet there are some very sick people around in this world, unfortunately, and we have to live with them. And from time to time, horrific things happen. Horrific events that change the history, change our lives on a day-to-day basis. And there will be people queuing up to investigate from the paranormal world. Because they're weirdos. And they think it's okay to do that. I don't know. I think there should be a line. 100 years, you can investigate if you want. There was also a 26-year sentence and 25-year sentence. Obviously for the other two of the four. They thought they put acid in the barrel to dispose of the bodies, but they put the wrong acid and hence they were found. Oh, okay, bodies were found because they were stupid people and they didn't use the correct acid to dispose of them. I suppose if they'd done that, there'd be no evidence and they potentially could have got away with it, I suppose. But, I mean, how many people want to investigate Tower of London? Everybody I know wants to do Tower of London. You've got all the royal families there, you know, Henry VIII, etc. You know, he's passed a long time now. Is that okay to investigate there? Sounds like Dharma. Yeah, that does sound like Dharma. Emma wants to investigate there. Her husband has worked there. The old bank now is a private residence. Wow, the energy in that building would be absolutely crazy. It's like all the deaths in the Night Stalker in LA, in California, when Richard Ramirez was going around killing people and going into these buildings at night time, raping women, killing kids, killing husbands. He went on an absolute horrific rampage. Could you investigate those houses where these people died? No. Your husband's an archaeologist. There you go. So I got there in the end. Archaeologist. Yeah. Cool. I bet he's seen some amazing places throughout his job. Going to locations that are very old and historic. That'd be awesome. I'd like to go to Stonehenge. Now, why I think there'd be spirits there, I don't know. But I would like to investigate Stonehenge. Would I? There's also what is it? There was a place in Wales where lots of uni students, the Bridgend Forest, where lots of uni students went into there to commit suicide. I've got a few friends that live down that way that said they've been into the forest, those woods, and they say it's absolutely horrific feeling inside. Now, I don't think that was that long ago. I think that was, I don't know, 80s, 90s when this happened. Would that be okay to investigate? You know. Yes, he found bodies going back many years. He would transport soldiers from World War II, their bones back to France once they'd been identified. Oh, wow. That's amazing. I mean, I've found bones occasionally in my job, but I think they're only animal bones that I've found so far that aren't in coffins anyway. And I think that's quite cool. But obviously finding soldiers and that's awesome. For an interest perspective anyway. I watched Dharma and sat through all the movie. The Bodies in the Barrel. I've not finished yet. I've not yet finished. I had to stop and start because it's just horrific. That should tell you how bad it is. Exactly. That's like the Ed Gein show on Netflix, Monster, that they've done. Investigating those locations. Again, horrific scenes of crime. It's too early, too soon. I think it's definitely got to be 100-year cut-off point. But I don't know. I suppose even then, it would. I don't know. It would have to depend on who it is and what it is. Like the Ariana Grande concert. I think even 100 years, that is far too early. Just for the fact that of the who the people that were that died. It's yeah, that can never be okay. If children tortured, blown up, killed, if that happened to children, I don't think that's ever okay to investigate. No. I watched it back to back, Ed Gein and Dharma. Well, Emma, that says a lot about you. No. I would like to watch them actually. I just haven't got round to it, and I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm sure they're brilliant, really brilliant. So I might have to start watching, see how far I can get. But I do like true crime. Everyone loves true crime. Everyone likes to watch a film on true crime. Everyone likes to watch TV shows, series on true crime. So why is it not okay to investigate true crime? That's all I'm going to say. I'm not a psycho. Never said you were. They're doing Lizzie Borden, are they? See, she killed all her family, didn't she, supposedly? But was never proven. And then didn't she kill herself? I'm sure that's her story. I've seen investigations at the Lizzie Borden house. There's actually a YouTuber called Seth Borden who does ghost hunting videos, as it were, from America, and he's actually related to Lizzie Borden. It's like a few generations, but he's related to her. I think that's quite cool, to be honest. It's definitely interesting. But guys, we're going to wrap this up now. Any final questions? Anything you want to say before we finish? Please get them in the comments now. Those watching at home on catch up, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you would investigate from the list of locations and stories that we've been to throughout the video, throughout the live stream. Let me know which you think it's okay, which you don't think it's okay. Just trying to get an idea of. I might actually start putting polls up to see if people would vote on them. Ground Zero, Auschwitz, things like that, just to see yes, no, hell no. So, oh wow, yeah, he depends if you watch American YouTube ghost hunting shows. He used to go out with exploring with Josh quite a lot, Sam and Colby a lot. So also, guys, please make sure you go and subscribe to my cemetery channel, Cemetery Walks with Midio. with who? Cemetery Walks with Mickey. Sorry, it's been a long day. Every Sunday, 8 p.m, a new video. They're only about 10-15 minutes long at the most. Really appreciate it. It's a new channel. It's doing really well. Views are up. Subs are up. It'll be great to just nice chilled Sunday evening viewing of me going to another cemetery, showing you graves, headstones, explaining why certain people are buried in a certain way. Go check it out. Cemetery Walks with Mickey. I'd investigate the Old Bailey and the cells where Old Newgate prison used to be. That's a great place. Lots of history there. Lots of stories, lots of pain. Excuse me. Thank you for Mickey for this live. I have subscribed to all. Thank you so much, Tracy. Awesome as ever. But yeah, let me know in the comments also where a controversial location could be or is that you know of, and have people been there to investigate just to see what people reckon, and we can put some polls out to try and find out if it's okay, if it's not okay, what people think is an acceptable level of communicating. So, but yes, guys, thank you so much for joining me this evening. We didn't have that many people on the show, but you guys that joined me and interacted all night, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Awesome chat. Polls would be good. Yes, they will be coming, Tracy. I'll put them on YouTube, on this channel, and also on my Facebook page. So we can put them on there. See, try and compare. We'll do one every couple of days, maybe. That's an idea, I think. Just to see how everyone's feeling, really. But yes, guys, thank you so much. I will see you on Sunday. There's no video tomorrow because I've not finished my October Mickey vlog yet. So next week that'll be out. But yes, I'll see you Sunday, 8 p.m, Cemetery Walks with Mickey. I'm in Glasgow this week at the biggest cemetery in Glasgow. So yeah. So I'll see you there. Thanks, guys. You're awesome.